Hello Excel ninjas in the making again, and welcome back. In this chapter, we're going to be exploring the magic of formulas and functions. As you learned from previous lessons, formulas are calculations that you import into Excel, while functions are formulas that Excel has created for you. They're tried and true, and they are super powerful. You know, just one of those things that Excel does to make your life easier. Functions save you a lot of time because you don't have to figure out a formula yourself. Excel has done it for you. Let's begin. Alright, so Excel allows you to import formulas where you can specify the calculation that you want Excel to perform. So for instance, in this example, Sophia is looking to add the cells B3, B4, B5, which are the order prices in column B. So she's going to begin by typing equal, and then after the equal sign, she's going to be entering B3 plus B4 plus B5 in brackets, and then she's going to hit enter. Now this might not seem very tedious if it's only 3 cells, but let's imagine that you have more than 3 cells. Let's imagine you have loads and loads of data. Do you think that hitting equals and then trying to sum up each and every cell is going to be time saving? Of course not. That is why there are functions. In this case, there is the sum function. While there are more than 500 functions in Excel, these are the most commonly used at the beginner's level. So you've got the sum function that calculates the sum for a range of cells. The average calculates the average. You've got the median, if you want to know the median for your range, the mode, the minimum and maximum, each give you the least and the most value in your range. And then you can use the today function to give you the date, the time, which gives you the time, and the now gives you both the date and time. When you create a formula or when you insert a formula in a cell, you can use the fill handle to drag the formula to the range of cells that you want to. For instance, the subtotal here is going to be the delivery price, which is cell C13, plus the order price, which is cell B13. I hit enter and then I autofill. And the way to autofill is either by using the fill handle to drag, or what I can do, I'm going to hit Control C, is I can make my selection using Shift and the down arrow and hit Control D. Now let me make sure everything is correct. So if I go to cell D16, it should be the sum of C16 plus B16. In other words, it should be the sum of the delivery price and the order price for this order, which is correct. If I go to this cell right over here, D24, I also note that it is cells C24 and B24. Note how Excel automatically colors different parts of the formula and color matches them with different cells for, ease of referencing. This entire range has been filled in correctly because what Excel did is that it moved downwards from C13 to C14 to C15 to C16 to C17 and so on by adding B13, and then it moved down to B14, 15, 16. In other words, Excel is moving downwards for cells B and C. And what's happening is that the numbers are changing, or the cell references are changing in order to reflect a new subtotal. But what if I want to add one number while I want Excel to keep the other number constant? In other words, what if the total over here is equals to the subtotal plus a constant cost that is not going to change? So if I hit here equals and I go to subtotal and I hit plus cell J13, which is a constant cost, I'm going to get a correct number for the first cell. But as I am going to drag, you will notice that something just does not make sense, because Excel added my subtotal to the constant cost for the first cell, but the remainder of the cells remains the same and nothing has been added. So if I click on one cell and try to figure out what happened, I notice that Excel is moving downwards and referencing empty cells. This brings us to a very important concept, which is absolute versus relative cell referencing. When you use the fill handle and pull a formula into cells below it, and this formula changes relative to where you have moved it, this means that you are doing a relative cell referencing. However, what you can do is you can ask Excel to fixate a cell so that it becomes an absolute cell. And even when you drag, Excel does not reference any other cells and keeps the cell as a fixed number in your formula. Let's see this in action. So right over here, cell G13 is referencing D13 and J13, right? And the next cell is referencing D14 and J14, but we want all of these to reference cell J13 even as I drag. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create an absolute reference. And to do that, you can either enter the dollar signs before the column number and the row number and hit enter, or you can simply select the cell, and I'm going to put in J13 again, and then select your formula and hit F4 and hit enter again. So now I'm going to drag using the fill handle, and what you notice is that the subtotal is being added to the constant cost, and the result is the total, which is the subtotal plus the constant cost. Now, when I go to my formula, I notice that it is referencing here D14, but instead of referencing J14, it still refers back to J13. Now let's move to the classwork. The first question is asking you to fill in cell F6 with the total that is equals to the price times the quantity. So I'm going to hit equal, and then I'm going to select E6, and I'm going to be multiplying it with cell D, and I'm going to hit enter. The total is $60. Then I am asked to autofill, and I can either double click right over here, or I'm going to hit Ctrl Z for undo, or I can just drag until the very end, or I can use the shortcut function where I can select until the very end and hit Ctrl D.